What the fuck? Nope.
I'm like, oh God!
I can hear some outside.
Each from this. Uważaj.
Huge, dude.
Venturing into the woods alone at night can be terrifying. But what happens when you encounter someone or something you'd rather never meet? Tonight, we're diving into the 6 most disturbing camping encounters ever recorded. These clips will make you think twice about ever stepping into the woods alone again. Let's delve straight into this first disturbing encounter. This first video comes from the YouTube channel Grizzly Gaz, where Gaz shares his outdoor adventures, often alongside his loyal dog, Fendi. He's known for his calm and lighthearted wild camping trips, sprinkled with helpful tips, gear reviews, and clever outdoor tricks. But in this video, his peaceful adventure took an unexpected turn. It's April 5th, 2025. A cold, crisp day with clear skies as Gaz and Fendi arrive at the serene location where they'll be spending the night. It's Gaz's first overnight trip in nature since winter, and he couldn't be more excited for this little getaway with his furry companion. Still, something in the air feels slightly off. While Gaz had been on his winter break, there had been a few reports of strange and unexplained activity in this region. But he brushes it off, hoping this will simply be another relaxing trip in the great outdoors.
So, we're finally out. And as you can see, Fendi's enjoying herself. Now I just really just need to get out and get away from it all. And I really hope that nothing weird happens tonight, because I just need to be out in a bit of solace. Come on, mate, you can do it. Come here, mate, you got turd hanging out your ass. Mate, don't you know that you're allergic to grass? And this is what starts you off scratching and that. You little nugget. What you like? You alright?
Yeah, you.
Right, not bad.
Just got into them, so someone keeps coming and smashing it all down.
No, do they?
Yeah, hello. Yeah.
Some idiots about, isn't there?
Yeah, well, I came up Sunday morning and rebuilt it all this.
Are you a wall, are you?
Yeah, I did dry stone walling. All that were all smashed off, all that ought to be smashed off, and all this down here, all that had been, so I've rebuilt it all again.
Yes.
Got here at 7 in the morning and didn't finish till about 12.
Good lad. Yeah, it's a nice...
She kept saying, oh, you're doing a really good job, you're doing a really good job. I thought, yeah.
Give us an hand then.
Yeah. So it's all back again now.
So I've just been chatting to a nice bloke called Anthony. He was telling me all about how he's been rebuilding these, because people keep coming up and smashing them down, these cairns. Don't be an idiot. Enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it. Don't smash it.
After a bit of exploring and a quick chat with a friendly man, Gaz decides this is the perfect spot to set up camp for the night. With a drink in hand, he takes a moment to soak in the peaceful atmosphere, enjoying the quiet, the views, and the simple joy of being out in nature again. Everything just feels right. But what Gaz doesn't know is that the peaceful mood won't last long. Because later that evening, things are about to take a turn, and his night will become far less relaxing than he hoped to be.
Gorgeous, innit? Oxen Oak down there. There's the cairn. There's the tent. And there's our little Prenzel. Mate, I knew something was going to go wrong. This sleep pad has just gone down. I've blown it up twice and I've made sure that the valve is seated correctly. Now I don't know if Fendi's popped it by walking on it, but she hasn't popped any of my other ones. but I've had a bottle of wine and I've drove here, so I'm just going to have to stick it out. Normally when this had happened, I'd just chill out for a bit and then go home, but because I've had a bottle of wine, I can't drive. So, stuck here. I knew something was going to go wrong tonight. I knew it.
It's a bit of a disappointment, but Gaz stays in good spirits and shifts his focus to making some food, determined to enjoy the rest of the evening no matter what. As night falls, he takes Fendi out for a little walk through the darkening landscape, heading towards some old ruins scattered around the area. At first, everything seems calm. Gaz is enjoying the quiet, the cool night air, and the sense of solitude, until an uncomfortable feeling starts to creep in, and from that moment on, the night only takes a darker turn.
I imagine there'd have been a fair few accidents, maybe even deaths up here. I'm creeping myself out now. Oh, it's pretty creepy up here, isn't it? It's like Mordor. Got Schmegel coming out of hills in a minute. There's just nothing for miles. Oh, look at that sleeping pad there. Oh, mate. Right, I'm going to see if I can get my head down for a bit on this crappy mat. If anything happens, then I'll let you know. Hello?
Gaz was already having a hard time falling asleep on his deflated air mattress. But just as he was finally starting to drift off, this sudden noise pulled him right back into full alertness. Clear, deliberate footsteps, just outside his tent. Holding his breath, Gaz called out, hoping for some kind of response. But the silence that followed only made things worse. Whoever was out there didn't answer. He listened as the footsteps slowly began to fade into the distance, crunching softly through the undergrowth. Heart racing, Gaz gathered his courage, grabbed his flashlight, and unzipped the tent, determined to find out who had been lurking so close in the dark.
Hello? Fendi, shut up. Oh, are you that duck then? Pretty sure he had some footsteps, but no sheep about. I can't see any eyes anywhere.
There was no sign of anything, or anyone, that Gaz could see. The area around his tent was still and empty, which only made him question more what he had just heard. Gaz assumed it maybe was all in his head or just his nerves playing tricks on him after a restless night. So, trying to reassure himself, Gaz brushed it off and eventually managed to fall asleep again. But later, once back home and reviewing his footage, that uneasy feeling returned in full force, because the footsteps he thought he might have imagined were clearly captured on the audio, undeniably real. What, or who, had been walking past his tent that night? Could it have been a curious animal that slipped away before he looked outside? Or was it something far more unsettling? Something that chose not to reveal itself? It's a question that still lingers, and maybe one that's better left unanswered. Did you already find that first clip horrifying? Then brace yourself, because this next one takes things to a whole new level. What would you do if a bone-chilling groan echoed outside your tent in the middle of the night? That takes us to this next disturbing clip of a couple who went camping near an abandoned building in Poland, and what began as a lovely adventure quickly spiraled into an experience they'll never forget. It's September the 10th, 2022. The evening had been perfect. The weather was warm, the nature around them calm and beautiful. Everything felt right. But once night fell and they were settling into sleep, an eerie, human-like groaning sound echoed through the air. At first, they tried to brush it off, assuming it had to be some kind of animal. But the noise didn't stop. It kept going, low and unsettling, crawling under their skin. Curiosity eventually got the better of them. Grabbing a flashlight, they crossed the road toward the sound which led them to the abandoned building. And what they discovered inside sent a chill straight down their spines.
Chodź tu, Kamilka. Kamilka, to coś cię widzę. Co ja cię mała? Miki cię woła.
Through one of the widows, they discovered the source of the sound. A woman, all alone in the darkness, occasionally letting out that same eerie groaning noise they had heard from their tent. At first, they tried to speak to her, asking if she needed help, but she didn't respond. Her behavior was strange, distant, and something about her presence felt deeply unsettling. It quickly became clear that she wasn't in a good mental state, and after a moment of hesitation, the couple realized it wasn't safe to approach her directly. But leaving her alone in that decaying, dangerous building didn't sit right with them either. So, they made the decision to call the police, hoping she could get the help she clearly needed.
Jezu, jak to ona tak warczy? Ja pierdzielę.
Kurwa, tak?
No, totalnie.
Pierdolę, ja dostaję tylko 5000 zł, kurwa, państwo. Idź tam do...
Uważaj.
Nie, to szkoda.
A wy ją widzicie w ogóle?
No nie.
Eventually, the police were able to safely remove the woman from the building, and the couple, still shaken by the entire encounter, decided to pack up their belongings and leave the area immediately. At first, they assumed the woman had been under the influence of some kind of drug, That would at least explain the unsettling way she had acted. But later, they learned something even more disturbing. No substances were found in her system. The woman had suffered a severe mental breakdown with no clear cause. It left the couple questioning everything. Could it have been a psychological crisis? Or was there something darker at play? Was the woman simply lost in her own mind? Or could something else have taken hold of her that night? Whatever the answer may be, one thing is certain. This was an experience they will never forget. This mystery is just one of many bizarre events caught on camera. Now let's take a look at the next chilling camping encounter clip that left viewers equally baffled. This next video follows two friends with a shared passion for urban exploration. While on a casual camping getaway near downtown Colorado Springs, they stumbled upon what looked like the entrance to an old tunnel system. Naturally, their curiosity got the better of them, and they decided to check it out. But what was found inside, however, was something they would never forget. The experience was so strange and unsettling that they later created a YouTube channel, Into the Void, just to share the footage with the world. It's June 2nd, 2023. After grabbing some gear from their camp, like flashlights and a camera, one of the friends decided to stay outside as a lookout, keeping watch and ready to warn the other if anything went wrong. Or vice versa. The other stepped into the tunnel, and as he did, the air immediately shifted. It was thick, damp, and carried an eerie stillness, like the kind that makes the hairs on your neck stand up.
Okay, so I need to set up my gear. I'm just gonna cut for a second and then we'll get back to it. Let's get into it and just make sure this is set up good. Okay. Okay.
The tunnel felt endless, stretching far beyond what his flashlight could reach. Still, he pressed on, curiosity outweighing caution, completely unaware of what he was about to witness. What he also didn't notice was that along the path he had just walked, faint footprints could be seen from the thin layer of water on the tunnel floor, and they weren't his. The footprints seemed oddly spaced, as if whoever or whatever made them wasn't moving in a natural way. But lost in the silence and the echo of his own footsteps, he didn't realize what he was walking on and just kept going, drawn deeper into the void with every step.
I need to take a breather. What the fuck? Nope. I'm dipping out. Fuck this shit. I don't know what that is. Oh fuck.
He came running back, completely shaken by what he had just heard echoing through the tunnel. The other guy had heard it too, those bone-chilling screams, and was relieved to see his friend sprinting out. Whatever had made that sound, it didn't just sound dangerous, it felt wrong. Just outside the tunnel, with fresh air and open sky above them, they still didn't feel safe. The atmosphere was still heavy, like something was watching. So without thinking twice, they bolted back to their camp, hearts pounding and minds racing. What haunted them most wasn't just the scream, it was the footprints inside, because whatever had been in there with him wasn't something that moved like any mountain lion or known animal. The prints were strange, unsettling, and off. So what do you think was lurking in that dark, eerie tunnel? An animal pushed out of its territory? Something else entirely? Or maybe something that was never supposed to be found. This mystery may never be solved, but in this next encounter, it's anything but a mystery what shattered the serene trip. This is Kat, a passionate nature enthusiast who finds true peace in the great outdoors. Whether she's wild camping, practicing bushcraft, or foraging, Kat fully embraces the solitude and raw beauty that nature has to offer. Through her YouTube channel, Wild Cat Adventures, she brings her audience along for every step of her lighthearted, yet often rugged journeys through the wilderness. In this next clip, Kat sets off for a peaceful solo camp in Saddleworth Moor, an expansive moorland in northwest England. But what begins as a tranquil escape into nature soon takes an unexpected and dangerous turn. It's September 12th, 2024. Kat arrives at the serene landscape and begins hiking toward an old set of ruins known as Bramley's Cot. Nestled among the rolling moors, it's the perfect spot to set up camp for the night, with a beautiful view, warm weather, and nature all around her.
It's a bit on the windy side, but as you can see, blue skies. One of the last good days of summer, I reckon. What a view. I am feeling a little bit paranoid about moorland fires though right now, because it would be ideal conditions. You know, it's been a sunny Saturday, summer day, so yeah, I wouldn't be able to get down there very quickly. Maybe I'm just feeling a little bit anxious, I don't know.
Although Kat feels satisfied and happy to have finally reached this beautiful, serene spot, a sense of unease slowly creeps in. With the recent string of warm, dry days, she can't shake the growing concern about the extent of wildfire risk in the area. At first, she tries to brush it off, telling herself she's just being paranoid, overthinking things after a long, tiring walk. So, she settles in, hoping to relax and enjoy the breathtaking view, letting the calm of nature soothe her nerves. But soon enough, she realizes that her gut feeling wasn't just nerves, and it wasn't wrong either.
Yeah, I'm going, guys, because I think I can see smoke coming over that way. It's really windy, it's dry, it's been a sunny Saturday. Conditions are just too ripe and I'm in too vulnerable a position here. So yeah, just feeling a little bit too anxious. I don't think I'm going to settle here, so I'm going to head back down just to be on the safe side. You know, when you just got a gut feeling that something's off. Like, it isn't just me, is it? You can see that there's sort of a plume of smoke coming up centre screen, roughly. Even the grouse have come down, look. They know what's good for them. You see, it still is coming over. It's like a dirty smudge of cloud as well. Such a shame I missed an epic sunset.
Kat's intuition about the fire risk proves spot on the moment she spots a thin plume of smoke curling above the far ridge. At that point, Kat knew she had to make a move. Feeling disappointed, she packed up and began the long walk back down, hoping she'd feel safer the further she got from the smoke. But after a tiring 2-hour descent, she decided to abandon her plans altogether and head straight back to her car. As Kat settled into her car, a wave of disappointment washed over her, wondering if maybe she had overreacted after all. But as she drove home, something caught her eye that made all those uneasy feelings vanish instantly.
You are not going to believe this. I was actually right. There is a moorland fire. That's what I could see. I could see the smoke. Right, I don't know. I can't see any fire brigade on it, so I'll call 999, I suppose, and let them know. Probably other people have already. I still, honestly, I can't believe that. That's crazy. I'm so glad that I trusted my instincts, because I had this thought, what if it's perfect conditions for it? And I went up and had a little look and I thought, That looks a little bit like smoke, but I thought, to be honest, I really thought that I was being paranoid, but no, and there it is.
This discovery was more than enough for Kat to know she had made the right decision. She hadn't overreacted. She had trusted her instincts, and it may have saved her from real danger. If she had stayed up in those hills, with the fire growing by the minute, there's no telling if she would have been able to make it back down in time. It was a powerful reminder that when something feels off, it often is. Listening to your gut might not always be the easiest choice, but sometimes it's the one that keeps you safe. Now, let's dive into the next clip, where once again, someone's camping trip turns into a terrifying experience. This next clip comes from the YouTube channel Captain Oho, a mysterious account with only one uploaded video. But it's a remarkable one. In it, the creator, whose real name remains unknown, documents a deeply unsettling encounter while hiking and camping at Lost Lake in Oregon. It's August 31st, 2023. At the time, a large wildfire was burning just 12 miles west of the area. And although he debated whether it was smart to go through with the trip, this was something he had planned a year in advance. So, after some hesitation, he decided to go for it, choosing to rough it and make the best of it. When he first arrived at the forest, everything seemed manageable. The conditions looked fine, and the air wasn't too bad. Encouraged, he began the hike toward Lost Lake, hoping to enjoy a bit of fishing once he arrived. But as the hours passed, the situation changed. The wind shifted, and thick smoke began rolling into the area. By the time he reached the lake, the visibility had dropped dramatically. What was supposed to be a peaceful camping trip had quickly turned into something far more tense and unpredictable.
Alright, so this is a trip. We're in Lost Lake, Oregon. We're out here with the ultralight. Woo. And you can't see 150 feet out there on the lake. This is all wildfire up here right now. We're out here trying to catch a trout, but look at that. We came up and boom, we drove right into this mess. So we're gonna try to catch us some trout. And go from there. It really is the end of the world issue. Look at that clear out. Unbelievable. You can see this combination of smoke and moisture, but it is unreal up here. Some apocalyptic conditions. This is the most photographed lake in Oregon, maybe in the United States. And it is absolutely gorgeous out here. When it is not the end of the world, so just unreal. I'm sure it's going to be something that you can not see quite often. Wildfire, you know? Let's go get cigarettes, hillbillies.
The air around the lake had become thick with smoke, too heavy to breathe comfortably, let alone stay much longer. So, after a short while, he decided to abandon his plan to catch a fish and made his way back into the forest, where the air seemed slightly clearer. But just as he was starting to feel a bit more at ease, he noticed something in the distance.
In fact, a year ago I came out here with my wife and she was about to pop pregnant. And we had to stop probably a quarter of the mile back. And I'd say this is our time to head back too, because whatever large creature is back there is big. Let's take a look. Shh, shh. It's probably fucking Sasquatch at this point.
At first, he assumed it was just a large animal, maybe a bear or a deer, that had wandered into the area, possibly pushed in his direction by the fire and thick smoke. He even joked out loud that maybe it was a Sasquatch, trying to lighten the eerie feeling creeping over him. But then, it suddenly threw something.
Turn it back. This is Sasquatch country. Oh my god. Wonderful poles and rock. We are back. Hear that? The one thing that is consistently reported with Sasquatch, rock throwing. Hear that? Big rocks. Those are big rocks, dude. Dude, they're lobbing rocks at me. Big fucking rocks. Hear that shit? It's hitting the tree. We're in Sasquatch country. This is not fucking fake either, bro. They're big rocks being thrown at us right now. Huge, dude. Holy that's moving. It's getting too close, bro. We gotta keep it moving. We gotta keep it moving, baby. I do not want to die out here. Chunky rocks, dude. Dude, those are huge rocks. Huge. That is like no joke rocks. I don't have my gun out here. I do not want to film my demise either. Let's cook it. We gotta cook it. Jesus Christ, dude. What the f was that?
This was more than enough reason for him to get out. Fast. Whatever was out there, throwing things from a distance, was clearly large, and it was moving toward him. So without hesitating, he made his way out of the forest as quickly as he could. His heart was pounding, and the thick smoke only made the moment more tense. He had never experienced anything like this before. Thankfully, he made it back to his car safely, and the moment he shut the door behind him, a wave of relief washed over him. With the fire so close and visibility worsening, it was probably for the best that he left. But even as he drove away, the question kept circling in his mind of what he had encountered. Still shaking, he later decided to share the footage on his YouTube channel, hoping that viewers might help him figure it out, or at least make sense of what had happened. The comments section quickly filled with responses. Some viewers swore it had to be a Sasquatch or Bigfoot, claiming they'd experienced or heard of similar encounters, even in that same region. Others were skeptical, insisting it was all staged for views. But the man remained firm. None of it was fake. So what do you think? Was this a genuine encounter with one of the Pacific Northwest's most famous cryptids, or just an elaborate hoax in the middle of a smoky forest? This serves as a stark reminder to be aware of the dangers that may be lurking in the near, and to be cautious when venturing alone into the wilderness. With that in mind, let's dive into the final clip of this video. This last video comes from the YouTube channel Small Plots, where Kevin documents his unique camping adventures. Whether it's stealth camping in a hammock or building a cozy base camp with all the essentials. His videos are not only fun and informative, but also refreshingly honest, as Kevin isn't afraid to share the challenges that come with outdoor life. And this particular adventure turned out to be one of those times. It's November 2nd, 2023. Kevin is geared up for another night under the stars, this time choosing a particularly unusual location. The overgrown grounds of an abandoned hotel right on the edge of a city neighborhood. After parking his car in a busier, safer area a bit further away, he sets off on foot toward his chosen camping spot. While the excitement of exploring such a unique place fuels him, Kevin can't shake off a sense of unease, knowing the property lies in a sketchy part of town.
Okay, I'm getting close to where I want to jump in to the forest.
kind of near those storage tanks of some kind of petroleum product. I haven't seen a soul back here, so I'm just gonna go. Oh yeah, there's definitely some slip marks here. They are probably from deer though, it's tough to tell. Down there is the abandoned hotel. It closed, I don't know, roughly 3-4 years ago. It does have security. I've seen security driving around in a little car with like a little light on it. I'm sure they're worried about people breaking in to the hotel more than they are about me camping next to it. But I do want to keep a low profile. I don't want anybody to get a little itchy calling the cops finger.
Now it's time for Kevin to find the perfect spot to set up camp for the night and make himself comfortable. He eventually settles on a quiet, sheltered spot and gets to work, pitching his tent, organizing his gear, and creating a little cozy setup for the evening. Everything is going smoothly, and Kevin feels at ease, even as the sky begins to darken and the rain starts to fall. Instead of letting it dampen his mood, Kevin embraces it. With a drink in hand, he relaxes to the soothing rhythm of the rain tapping against his tent. That is, until something suddenly breaks the calm, shifting the entire vibe in an instant.
Let's do a little tour of the tent, eh? As you can see, here's my sleeping pad. Not in its final configuration. As you can see, it's up on some rocks and stuff there, so I'll turn it diagonally. And then behind me is this endless darkness. As you can see, that's where my pack and stuff is. Rain's really starting to pick up. Just kind of hanging out, enjoying my space kitty. It's got to be a rain alarm for the airport right over there. I've heard that before when I've been camping in the vicinity while it was raining. They're like, oh God! Something just ran by the tent. It was the lights in my eyes, I couldn't see anything.
All of a sudden, Kevin is startled by something rushing past his tent. The sound is quick, too quick, and alarmingly close. Instinctively, he freezes. His first thought is that it might have just been an animal, but something feels wrong. The movement had weight to it, like it wasn't just a stray raccoon or a curious fox. An eerie unease begins to settle in. This abandoned hotel lot is in a part of the city with a sketchy reputation, known for occasional criminal activity and nearby homeless encampments. That thought lingers in the back of his mind. Trying to stay calm, Kevin takes a deep breath and slowly reaches for his flashlight. He unzips his tent and steps out into the rain-soaked night, scanning the darkness around him, looking for any sign that someone or something might be watching.
I don't see any eyes looking back. I don't think. Wait, I just thought I did. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Between the Eerie alarm happening over at the airport and whatever it was that just ran past me about 3-4 feet in front of me, I think it's safe to say I'm a little bit on edge. The only thing that makes me think it wasn't a deer was I didn't hear any crashing before or afterwards. Deer are not like that subtle. And I didn't hear any crashing before it came in. Maybe when I listen to the video I will. But I didn't hear any crashing before or after. I just heard something run past me. I'm sure the camera picked it up. It was like right there. Whew. Eerie.
Kevin couldn't help but constantly scan his surroundings. His sense of unease just wouldn't let up. Still, packing up and leaving wasn't a real option. The rain hadn't let up, and the idea of walking back through that sketchy neighborhood in the dark didn't sit right with him either. So, his only choice was to stay put and try to reclaim that comfortable vibe he had earlier in the evening. But the rest of the night felt different. That unsettling tension clung to the air, and the feeling that someone was watching him never really went away. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a branch felt amplified, and sleep was nearly possible. Eventually, the sun began to rise, painting the sky with the first signs of morning. And only then did Kevin feel like he could finally breathe again. Still, the mystery of what had passed his tent that night lingered in his mind. Whether it was something harmless or something he should have been afraid of, one thing was clear: it left a mark. And it served as a chilling reminder that even when you think you're alone out there, there's a good chance you're not. Now that was all for today, folks. If you enjoyed these horrifying clips, subscribe to our channel and click to see more on the video on screen.